Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm looking at how to save money from our salary. I've had people talk about that say that they are earning very little, so they are not able to save. But I'm here to tell you that no money is little. You start saving from the little money that you are earning. And I'm telling you from a point of view of experience and having been salaried for many years. I recently retired, and if I look back and do some calculations, if I had done what I'm about to tell you, I probably would have retired in Hawaii or Bali or some other fancy place. You know those places you have on your bucket list? Maybe I would have retired there if I did what I am about to tell you about how to save money from your salary. So how much money should you consider saving every month? And I'm talking about saving from whatever money you are earning. So I'll give you that in percentages. So typically, salaried employees should spend 50% of their salary on living expenses. So in terms of living expenses, we are talking about you have a house, you have probably somebody that helps you manage the house, or you have bills, you have water, you have electricity, you have Wi-Fi. You see, currently, a lot of us can't live off Wi-Fi. So that should take 50% of your salary, the salary you get. For those that are Christians, you know that from the gross you will need to take 10% of the tithe. How many of you are doing that, the 10%? Or are you also saying that the economy is bad and so you have put on hold the tithes? Remember, you'll have to come back and pay that 10%. So you better plan to pay on a monthly basis. So we have done the 50% on living expenses. So even when you look for a house that is within that amount. I have seen situations where people are looking for houses that are almost 90% of the amount you're earning. And it's because of the peer pressure. Your friends live in these leafy suburbs. You also want to live in those leafy suburbs. And your salary cannot allow. So as you calculate your living expenses, it's 50%. So if you have any entertainment, because I'm not telling you to lead a boring life, you need to put another maybe 10-20%. And you also need to have 20% that you should save. Doesn't matter what kind of a month you're having, you must put the 20%. Let me put it in simple terms. If you saved 20% of 10,000 shillings, you did 20%, that is 2,000. So how much is it in 12 months? It is about 24,000. I have worked for 30 decades. Do your maths. I've worked for 3 decades. Do your maths. 2,000 every month. You have saved the 20% every month for over 10 years. Those are 120 months. Just do your calculations. You are not saving a lot. I'm looking at 10,000. And not many of us are earning 10,000. We are earning more. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, many times. So do your 20% saving. Sometimes you may look at yourself and say, I'm in my 20s, so I'm not about to retire. Let me tell you, I didn't see my retirement coming. Even with the gray hair, I still didn't see my retirement coming. So make sure that you don't live beyond your means. Live within your means. And don't let peer pressure guide you or ruin your life in terms of how you save, how you spend. Then these are some smart ways of how you can save your money. Plan a budget. Be that person that has a budget. Then determine ways to reduce the spending. For example, I have noted earlier in my life, I would take a car, I would do a drive. You're just driving aimlessly. going to places that you don't need to go to. Currently, I cannot do that because I'm reducing on my spending. Then put savings to action, even through investment. What kind of investments do you have? How many years have you worked? Do you have anything to show for the many years that you have worked? Or you work hand to mouth, you spend everything. You walk into a mall, you see something you want to buy, and you hadn't planned for it. So you must plan your budget. And then when you have debts, manage your debts. Make sure that you do timely payments to avoid the penalties. At times, even these, currently there are so many apps in Kenya where you can borrow money. And there are penalties, they come with penalties. The interests are so high. How can we avoid that? To borrow money from these different apps. Then if you have an office that pays bonus, can we make a plan of saving that bonus so that we build our saving a little sooner than later? Because I can assure you that you don't see how time moves. You find yourself in your 40s, maybe you have children, you have to take them to school, you have to pay different things, you want to build, you want to buy land. So it is important that even as you are young, as you start your career, you start saving. You be in the habit of saving. Then determine ways to reduce your spending. So can you go even into supermarkets and see how many things are on sale? You see, I have noted that we don't pay attention to that. If you go to a supermarket, there are sales, you can buy certain things and save a lot of money. And then if there are certain free things, even within the supermarkets, which you pay for very little, then you need to look at that. Then evaluate the cost of eating outside versus cooking at home. For the time I have worked majorly, I worked in Nairobi and I would pack my lunch. Sometimes it was not also only saving. You're also eating something that you have cooked and you are happy with what you have cooked. So evaluate that. You don't just have to accompany people going out to eat versus bringing home cooked lunch. So assess the recurring charges, in terms of monthly subscription. If you pay upfront for a year, what are you saving? Because there are certain subscriptions. If you pay for a year, you save a lot. So you need to do that. Then wait before you buy. There are certain times, especially for ladies, you see something you want to buy. Can you wait so that you think through? So that you see, is it a need? Is it a want? If it's not a need, if you don't have to have it, why are you buying it? So in terms of debts, we might not manage without debt. For example, you want a mortgage, you want to buy a car. Sometimes you haven't saved enough for that car. So you will need to just make those timely payments, leave no room for debts, and save on every other thing. Electricity, how can you save on that? What is more expensive? Using for cooking, is it electricity? Is it gas? I know for Kenya right now, gas is cheaper. So why use electricity when gas is a little cheaper? Then in terms of savings, where do you save? Is it mutual funds or is it fixed deposit? Those are things that you need to find out. This life requires that we do a lot of research so that when you save, for example, on fixed deposit, for a fact that you cannot access the funds. So save in a place where you will not access the funds. Then you'll need some emergency funds. Imagine you are employed, you have an emergency, you can't meet your emergency because you didn't save anything. So it is important that you have that emergency kit so that should there be an emergency, you are able to pay upfront for those emergencies. Then make timely payments to avoid those penalties. That's something little about salaried people, and you can be able to make a bit of saving even with your salary. And no salary is too small. Thank you so much for listening. If you are new here, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more information like this. Thank you.